Welcome to Croatia! On our journey along Croatia's stunning coastline, we hopped on the car ferry to Hvar, where we'll be driving around the island and discovering hidden beaches, scenic viewpoints and charming villages along the way. And first up, we'll be exploring Stari Grad itself, wandering the beautiful streets and taking in the island vibes. So pretty much all we've done today is find a little art store and found our next magnet for our fridge back home. We let Callie pick it this time and she's gone with something pretty cute. Purple one. Right, you go take it to the lady. Hello. Thanks. All right, let's go. All right, show me what we got. That is a cute magnet for our collection. But we've now made it to the square where the cathedral is, and it is so quiet here. It's almost 10 a.m. and there's just barely any people here. I feel like I need to whisper because it's just so calm and quiet. But it's interesting because yesterday afternoon we were out wandering the streets as well and we were like, wow, it's really quiet here. And then Tom came out later in the night to get us some dinner and he said it was just vibing. There were people everywhere, there were yachts pulling up, so it was getting a lot busier when people wanted to actually pull up with their boats and spend the night here. But it is cool to be able to walk around the streets here on your own and take it all in while it's so peaceful. So this one is the Church of St. Stephen, not a cathedral, like I accidentally said before, but it is so old. They've done barely anything to keep this one maintained to be, I guess, modern and beautiful and sleek like most of them are these days. But what they have done is above the door there is, I suppose, St. Stephen, and he is crystal clean.
Stuck here.
You're stuck.
Like a spider.
You might have to grow your hair long like Rapunzel and jump down.
I can grow my hair without take away.
Yeah.
Go for drop me feet and then I cut sky. Go for cut it my hair.
Oh no, now you're stuck forever.
I'm also too scared to jump down there.
I would be too. So this is Škor Square, and I'm probably saying that wrong, but this is such a cute little place to come and have your morning coffee. But honestly, I did expect more here. Maybe at night time it's a little bit more vibrant, but right now it's so peaceful and calm, just like everywhere else in the village. There's not that much to do in these places, but I think that's what makes them so special because there's nowhere to rush off to. There's nothing you have to be doing that day, so you just get to really slow down and enjoy the pace of the Croatian life. And definitely the best thing to do in Stari Grad is to just wander the cobblestone streets, look at all the different houses and just take in that beautiful ocean because the town's not very big. Almost every corner you walk around, you'll find the harbour again, and it's just so beautiful. They're fish. He's selling the fish he caught. He would have gone out maybe early this morning. But one of the most unique and beautiful places to visit while you're in Stari Grad has got to be the fortress of Petar Hektorović. And yes, I'm very confident that I'm saying that wrong again. But this place is pretty special. There's fishies.
They have lots and lots of space.
They do, hey. So Petar was actually a very famous poet back in the day, and he built this fortress in the 16th century. But unlike most fortresses, it's not built just for defence. It was designed as a philosopher's retreat where he wrote poetry and welcomed travellers. He believed strongly in hospitality and unity, so he built spaces for common people, fishermen and even animals inside the fortress. And its most unique feature is the fish pond in the central courtyard, where he kept mullets and eels. And that was to symbolise harmony between nature and man. Yeah, it definitely feels less like a fortress and more like a beautiful garden where you can come and sit in nature, because obviously in the Stari Grad village there's a lot of stone buildings, but this is a nice place to come and feel like you're actually in the trees and the vines, and it's just so beautiful here. So this afternoon we have driven across the island about 25 minutes to find a little beach spot. This is one that our Airbnb host recommended to us, and that is because it is a true sandy beach here in Croatia, which is very hard to come by. If you watched our last video, you'll know that that is very true, and the views from the spot that I'm sitting is just beautiful. In the distance you can see these massive mountains and these beautiful trees in front of me, and the crystal clear water as well is just stunning. It's real sand. Pretty exciting. Is that good? Mila's not eating her thing? No, she's having too much fun in the sand.
Mila, there's food in here.
Oh, that didn't take long to come. She's here now.
Well, Callie told me.
Now we got two having some snacks. So we are here in mid-September and it's just the most beautiful weather for us. We've had one day of rain so far since being in Croatia, which is pretty much the absolute opposite of what we're used to. Normally when we're traveling around we're really cold, but it's just been the most beautiful blue days every day. And the water is getting pretty cold to go for a big swim, but it's still just warm enough to dip in for a little bit. But I think in another month or so it might be a little bit too cold. Your mermaid tail looks like that.
Yeah. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Look.
Whoa.
And we have this colour side tail.
That's right, when you're on the land.
Stay in the water.
So this morning we've decided to spend the day in Hvar Town, but to get there from Stari Grad we actually took the old road, and the views on this drive were absolutely stunning, and I would highly recommend taking that route while you're driving around the island. You just get to see 360 degrees panoramic views all around the coastline, and it's just beautiful. But our first stop of the day is at Napoleon's fortress. So Napoleon's fortress was built in 1811 by the French during their brief rule over Dalmatia. It replaced an older Venetian fort and was part of a system to defend the island. But the French didn't last here long because the Austrians soon took over a few years later, but the fort has still kept Napoleon's name. But definitely the best part about this place is the incredible views. Oh, wow, is that Hvar down there? Wow. That is an incredible view. Hi Callie! This is why I like hiring a car though, because you get to come to these places. Let's go find the town. So we've arrived in Hvar Town and we've made our way straight to a little coffee shop. This place is called Coffee Snob and it's got the most amazing looking coffee and pastries here, and it's in this beautiful little alleyway, and it's just going to be such a nice way to start our time here in Hvar. Oh my god, that cookie. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? It looks like it's a chocolate and almond, and then we also got this chocolate croissant. Yeah, so they didn't have decaf, so I got a homemade iced tea. Holy, it's an intense flavour. We've finished our little morning tea stop, and right in front of us is our first stop that we're going to see while we're in the town here. So above me now is St. Stephen's Cathedral, and it's at the end of one of the main squares here in Hvar. And a cool fact about this square is that it actually used to be a small bay, and it was filled in during the 15th century. The bell tower here at the cathedral is one of the most photographed landmarks here in Hvar, and you can see why, because it's pretty amazing. You really can just imagine this whole square here being in the water, because it's got the perfect shape of being a little bay where they would have put all their little fishing boats and stuff like that. And now it's just surrounded by these stunning buildings, and it's a really cool place to just come and take in all the island atmosphere, and the vibes in Croatia are just too good. So just behind us is this Spanish fortress, and that was something that we were meant to be doing today, but now that we're here we're kind of just a little bit too lazy. And we also got the Napoleon's fortress views, which I feel like you just can't beat, so we're probably going to pass on that one. But if you are here, I would recommend going up there and checking it out, because the views from there would be amazing if you can't get all the way to Napoleon's fortress. We're just enjoying this slow walk too much, checking out his dream future yachts. What about this little blow-up boat? The old town here in Hvar has probably been my favourite one that we've visited in Croatia yet. It is just so picturesque. There's these beautiful staircases leading up into everyone's homes and little shops, but it's just been such a nice morning spending some time here, just taking it in slow, which is definitely the Croatian way to do things. There's nowhere to be, there's nowhere to rush to. You just get to take your day as you want it to be. And today that was very slowly for us. The beaches on Hvar Island so far have just been stunning. So we decided this afternoon we were going to take dinner to the beach. Because why would you want to have dinner at home when you could be sitting here and enjoying these views instead?
Feel this one.
Holy Mila, I think you found the softest one.
They should put up a sign, parking is €10, comes with free drink. I'm not even mad, honestly. I actually kind of really wanted an Aperol Spritz.
You had to buy a drink to be able to park here.
Well, yeah, but there's free parking
right next to it.
right beside it. So basically I just finagled my way into an Aperol Spritz.
Of course, it's the drink that I kind of despise. Every year I come back to the Mediterranean, I think I'm going to like them a little bit more. The initial sip is good, and then the aftertaste.
The only problem is when you stop drinking.
Yeah, you got to just keep.
Yeah, keep drinking.
Yeah, that aftertaste is. Ooh, I might not like the Aperol, but I've come prepared with my own drink. Cheers,
Cheers.
Croatia.
Just hand the camera out. It is just so ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Well, they've all braved the cold, so I think it's my turn. Would you like me to come in? Okay. Whew, that's fresh. It's too fresh. But look at the views. Holy. Gosh, the water is so ridiculously clear. It's not a sandy beach, but it's still quite nice. Because these rocks are at least very smooth, so it doesn't hurt when you stand on them all. It is weird for us though coming to these beaches and not just having hectic crashing waves. In Australia, most of the beaches we visit and swim at locally are just the most intense rip tides and giant waves that'll just crush the kids. It's nice to actually have some shallow water that they can play in. Dinner time. Super healthy tonight with cheese and meat and chips. You didn't eat any fruit yet. Let's be real. If the kids weren't here, we wouldn't have packed any fruit. I've never eaten banana in a place so beautiful. Although I probably have, because bananas are the best thing to take on hikes. And we've got a waspy guy back with us again.
I feel so much love our food.
He does love our food, doesn't he? Not the kids.
Because we don't want to get stung.
We used to not be too afraid of them, but then Tom got stung. Daddy's our sacrifice. Decoy food, but they don't want it. They want the fresh, good stuff. Just don't eat one, whatever you do. What would you prefer, Tom? Seagulls in Australia or wasps in Europe?
I think what?
You take the seagulls? Me too. So this morning we've made our way back to Hvar Town in hopes to get a water taxi to one of the Pakleni Islands, and the one we're choosing today is called Palmizana. So Pakleni is a group of islands that consists of between 16 and 18. Honestly, when I googled it, it wouldn't tell me a direct answer. But the other day when we were on top of Napoleon's fortress, the view looking over Hvar Town, you could see the islands then, and they're just so beautiful. And if you had your own boat, it'd be so nice to go around for the day and exploring these different coves. But today we don't have a boat, so we're gonna just try to get the water taxi. Every day, every 30 minutes. This is our boat we're getting on. Yeah, bye Hvar Town.
Bye-bye.
See you this afternoon. It took about 20 minutes on the boat taxi, and we paid €15 for me and then €15 for Tom return. So as long as we make it back here to the harbour at 2:30, we'll be able to get back on that same taxi transfer. But so far this island is absolutely stunning. It's given me so much deja vu for 9 years ago when we went and sailed Croatia with med sailors. I swear we stopped at this place, but I can't know for sure. But it's just going to be such a beautiful day spent here on the island. Let's go up this way to the beach. Callie literally just sat surrounded by cactuses. She's so lucky she didn't get stabbed. We're just following the main path down to the beach now. Try and find a nice spot to go have a swim. What a place to come out. Oh my gosh, that water. It's sandy here, guys.
Sandy and rocky.
And beautiful shallow waters to play in. Did we just get a boat taxi to paradise? This is absolutely stunning. So we would have happily paid that €15 each for the return boat just to have a ride on the boat, because seeing Hvar Town from the water is just absolutely epic. But now that we are here, we also appreciate the fact that we get to stay on this beautiful island for a few hours. The water is so crystal clear. We were wondering where all the sea urchins were, because last time we were in Croatia, they were everywhere we went swimming, and they're here today. But thankfully only in the rocky area. The kids are braving the cold water. Tom and I are yet to be convinced. So we had a beautiful swim, and then we decided to actually go to Toto's, which was right behind us, and we had such nice views while we ate our lunch there. And now we've got about an hour and a half to pass before the boat transfer will come back to us. So we're actually going to try and go to another bar. We've got these sticker books for the girls today, and they just are obsessed with them. They want to do that. So we thought while we're in the peak of the day, stay out of the sun a little bit, and we'll go to another bar. So we're on our way to try and find it now. Getting some cool views over the bay from up here. This is probably the fanciest one on this island, and if you want to get a really nice lunch while you're here, I would come to this one, because from the reviews and the food that we've seen online, it just looks so good. There's the beautiful beach, very waterfront here, such good views. How's that for a seat, hey? It's definitely worth coming here just for a drink, because oh my gosh, the views, so nice.
It's cheap, €3,800.
Do you think we'll get a water to share? Cheers again. Well, that marks the end of the video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed watching what we got up to here on Hvar Island. We had such a beautiful week here with the kids exploring different beaches and different beach bars. And if you do visit Split, I would highly recommend coming over to Hvar Island for a few days at least. But tomorrow we are taking the ferry back over to Split, and our next destination will be Tregear. So if you want to see what we get up to in Tregear, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions about what we got up to here on Hvar Island, just hit the comments below and I'll reply to you there. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next week. Cheers.